couple of major security challenges used to be synonymous to areas such as Warimpa, Lifecamp, Mabushi, Utako, and sometimes stretched through Karimo and Dede. Well, today there is respite with residents of these communities testifying to the concerted efforts by the various police outfits. Now, how has the police in the FCT been able to achieve this, and what are the plans to sustain the present success? On our program today, this will be our focus as we'll be finding answers to these questions and the confidentiality of informants to police in the nation's capital. Hello there, good morning, and thank you for joining us on another episode of your regular security check program called The Police on the Unity Station, NTA Channel 5, Abuja. My name is Tessio Mary. Thank you for joining us.
To those who seek to disrupt the tranquility of the FCT, I send a clear and resolute message. My tenure will be marked by a zero-tolerance approach to all forms of crimes and criminality.
When there's a court order that is to Mushu Abiola's pardon, they ought to obey that law. But because the FCT Police Command were prepared, were proactive, were able to manage within the ambit of the law.
Security is everyone's business. This is why NTA Channel 5 Abuja is collaborating with the FCT Police Command in providing a weekly platform for up-to-date security check in the FCT. Join us for the real information every Wednesday at 10:30 a.m. on NTA Channel 5.
Thank you for staying tuned. If you're just joining us, this is called The Police Live, your regular security check program where we discuss security. Remember, security is you and I's business. Now let's watch this background report to usher in our discussion this morning, after which you will get to meet our guests on today's episode of the program.
Housebreaking used to be a major prevalent security challenge in Mabushi. However, with constant community efforts in support of the police by way of information volunteering, the people say the police in the area works round the clock to ensure safety and service delivery.
Even if you go around now, within yourself, you'll find out that it is different with before. Yes, Mabushi of those days is not Mabushi of today. And even the people that come in and go out, they will attest to that they are no longer experiencing that was happening here.
Management of traffic and ensuring that motorists transit through the routes without falling prey to the nefarious activities of street urchins tops daily routine for police in Utako. This is in addition to the rigors of commercial activities in Gwarimpa, as Sufyan Umar Gobir, a tricycle owners unionist, noted. Curtailing excesses of riders as well as high-handedness of touts posing as area council revenue officials against motorists has recorded appreciable success.
We are collaborating with police, let me say 24 hours, because wherever we get a small problem or big problem, the more we call them, they will come. That is the reason why they give us support, like 100 or 95% to stop our jobs. And we are succeeding through that, and we are really appreciating what they are doing for us in Gwarimpa. Even the traffic, the police has come in and is less. Killing, kidnapping is no more there again in Gwarimpa. So actually they are doing their best.
The Tuesday market along the Karumo-Gwagwa-Edo axis and the unplanned nature of the area makes the community safe haven for criminal activities and elements that thrive in car, motorcycle, and handset snatching. But the story in Lifecamp district signifies a community owning the quest for a peaceful and serene environment for habitation.
Always, anytime that you call them, both morning and night and evening, they will answer your call with prompt response. So the love camp, and now the crime is barest minimum. Barest minimum. They are working effectively.
Corroborating Sufyan Gobir's claim on security in the affected area, The close-knitted and revolving relationship between the police and the people they serve has in no small measure dealt a strong blow to the pockets of challenges that has affected the communities over time.
Many thanks, Onotu Yakubu, for that report to set in our discussion, the tone for our discussion this morning. And let's get to meet our guest. He's the Assistant Commissioner of Police, Harrison Aruro. He is the Area Commander, FC Command. Thank you for joining us on the program this morning.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Yes, from the background report, here lots of success stories. I heard when they said that the issue of tout has reduced to various minimum. Everything I was hearing is about reduce. So tell us, what's your reaction to the background reports?
Thank you once again for having me this morning. I will start by stating the fact that those are comments from the populace. It's their view. It shows they have seen some changes in operations of the police, and they are quite appreciating it. It takes a lot to come out to appreciate the police, because what they have always known there is a negative comment. But I'm glad to be a policeman this morning, sitting before you and getting commendation for what we have been able to achieve so far.
Okay, that's good to hear. And it's actually heartwarming when whatever you're doing gets appreciated by the people you're doing it for. Okay, now your area of responsibility used to be host to some of these dreaded everyday criminals, where people always report bad, like you say, bad, but now it's no longer bad, but it's your car theft, phone snatching, and all this sundry challenge. Tell us how are you able to do it, and what are your, let's say, deliberate efforts to sustain them?
Yeah, thank you. I'll start by appreciating the Commissioner of Police, FCT, CP Olatunji Disu, who has been the man behind the operations you are seeing so far. Steady interaction with officers and men has really made them sit up to their responsibilities. Yes, before now, patrols may commence a little bit around 6 o'clock in the evening, but with his proactive approach to policing, he has directed most of these patrols start as early as 4, before the peak period. And that is why you see a lot of police visibility. There is nothing that scares the criminals like where you have enough police visibility. And the marked places where vehicles are usually removed from where parked, we have a lot of undercover men there. You send out men, they gather intelligence, you pin down and wait for possible criminal that you will apprehend. And I think we've been apprehending a lot and prosecuting some. So far, so good. We are hoping to sustain what we have in place already.
That sounds like a respite for FCT residents. And talking about FCT residents, we are here because of you. So you can be part of this discussion this morning by calling on the numbers we'll be displaying on the screen. Please call us and give us your own commendation or recommendation, or you can ask questions, whatever the case is. The officer is here to respond adequately. Okay, now, area commander, can you x-ray the current security situation of communities, adjoining communities? We have Kadu, we have Karmu, and Gwagwa, within that, your answers, how is the current situation there? It's a densely populated area in your area of activities.
You're very correct there. If you go through the axis of the life camp, Karimogwagwa, up to date, you realize it's more like a suburb. People who reside there fall into the categories of, you wouldn't really say they're even average families. So most people who are uncomfortable in their respective estates or moving to Abuja seem to relax more in such locations. And the people who come in, most times they're not profiled. Because they're not profiled, you may not authoritatively talk about their character. Hence, more job for the police and the community. And that is exactly why you can't do anything without the community you are policing. The directive of the authority is that you must have to work with the community, and that's exactly why we are achieving successes. So what we normally do in such axes, just like I've said, increased vehicular patrol, increased foot patrol as well, in synergy with the vigilante and the locals. And we've had series of town hall meetings to interface with the community to make them understand that security job wouldn't be left just for the police alone. It's a symbiotic thing. We work together. We can't be everywhere. But one thing I assure them, the moment you have any concern and comes to us, we respond in a quick possible time.
Okay, you talked about people from different areas coming there to find comfort and, of course, probably the area is homely for them. And you said they come with different characters, and because they're not profiled, you wouldn't know who is who and all that. So how are you able to cope with that situation in terms of information gathering? How is this area of confidentiality building with members of the public for adequate cooperation?
Well, all you need to be doing as a policeman, policing an area, is to be seen to be transparent. When they see you are transparent, there is nothing they'll hold back. And that's our view. The moment you keep interacting with them, bring them to be part of your operations. You work together, they see you morning, afternoon, night. You feel for them, they feel for you. At the end of the day, they won't keep any information back. That way, you gather intelligence and you work with that to prevent crime.
So let's talk about one chance. One chance. I know that it has reduced, but we still hear a couple of pockets of it here and there where people still fall victim. Is it the fault of FC residents, or is it that, like you said, police cannot be everywhere? But then, how should we go about it?
Well, I am of the view that people should follow their instinct. You don't just bought a vehicle because you're desperate to get to your destination. Primarily, you put your security as a priority. If you have your security as a priority, you should be able to observe any vehicle you want to board.
Hello? Okay, can we please speak this
Please
call?
do, thank you.
Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Thank you for joining us. You're live on TV. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Okay, my name is Halima. I'm calling from Guagua, Caribou.
Okay, Halima from Guagua.
I just want to call just notice of the DPO to the pockets of crime around that area. When it comes to the markets and the traders, we have pockets of criminals around. They are not saying the command is not trying, the division is not trying, but what they are able to do differently to ensure that these pockets of criminals are totally wiped out from this
Guagua Caribou, right? Thank you so much, Halima. We talked about Guagua Caribou earlier, and we said that it's a densely populated. I know every Tuesday or so they have these big markets. I'm sure that's where she's raising this concern from.
Thank you, Halima. I've taken note of your question, and I would appreciate more if most of these concerns are passed to the divisions, just like you mentioned. And I promise you one thing, I'm going to take it up with the DPO Guagua Caribou, because I know very well on the market days, I personally patrol there to ensure crime is very well managed. But I appreciate your concern, and we're going to work on that. Thank you.
Thank you, Halima. I want to believe that your concern will be attended to. Hello, good morning. Thank you for joining us. Hello. Okay, please, you want to be part of this program, help us and move away from your TV sets so that we would have clean, information, so that we don't have distorted communication, because if it's echoing, I won't be able to hear you. Hello, good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Please tell us your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Alhaji Abdul Mumin.
Abdul Mumin Dan Asebe. Please, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Cairo area of the FCT.
Okay, go ahead, please.
We would always want to commend the FCT police for always protecting lives and property. But I want to also draw their attention, especially around the Karabatua area, the kind of nefarious activities of those drug boys around that. I think it needs to be checkmated. Over time, we see them come to just do not afraid of the law.
Okay.
On the roadside, you see them peddling or selling their drugs, which I think is not good.
That's
So,
Karu
police need to
Abattoir
do
side,
something.
right?
Yes, Karu Abattoir.
Thank you so much, Abdul Mumin. I don't know, this particular caller here, he's a regular caller and he's always complaining about that Karu Abattoir. I don't know, something needs to be done so that maybe when he calls next time, he'll be giving us a success story. Yeah.
Well, that is noted. I think I also convey same concern to the area commander, Karu, who is equally active, and I know he's going to do something about that.
Okay.
So I expect you're not going to get this call again.
Abdul Mumin, I want to believe when next you call, you'll be telling us probably a success story of abattoir in Karu. Thank you for calling. Okay, you were talking about this issue of one chance and what should people should do.
Yeah, just like I stated earlier, people would want to access transportation to go to their respective destinations. But the issue here is that you see a vehicle for one or two reasons, your instinct tells you not to join the vehicle. But because of the urge to go home, you hop in and possibly there will be an incident. Yeah. As far as we are concerned, there is nothing like one chance. It's more like a name given going by the happenings. This is a clear case of armed robbery. You are armed and you are out to rob somebody. It is clear case of armed robbery and we treat it as such. But what I want to pass on to people is be conscious of your environment. You must have to be conscious of your environment. Follow your instinct. Don't avoid vehicles you can't easily identify. Even when people take some ride, they share their ride. They have a reason for doing that. There is nothing much in picking the plate number of the vehicle you're entering. You could send it as a text to your relative. They know this was the last car you entered. So if there's anything that would be a way to at least have a trace to whatever would have happened, that is it.
Okay, ACP, let's talk about collaborations for security now. Last week, a caller, I think from Zuba area, complained about sharing information with the police, and this issue of confidentiality turned out not so well. What's the record like in your command regarding this matter?
I wouldn't say the caller is not being fair to the police, but I think if you are in the system, you realize one thing. We take informants, they are a great asset to the police. And we don't know who will come out and be spoiling his asset. We protect their identities. We work with them. Most allegations of divulging information back to the public, we've investigated a couple of them, and they are not true. So we need to, let's not be misrepresenting facts. No policeman whom is worth his onions will go and divulge an information that's given to him on basis of their confidentiality. They assist us do our work. We value them.
Okay, there's this issue again. One of our officers was on this platform and he told us something about all this confidentiality issue. He said some of these informants actually have turned it into business. Is that correct?
That is very true.
So according to him, it's becoming annoying.
That is true, and that is exactly why you realize that somebody will assume he has given information to the police. He may have given the information to many other persons. So you realize now it is not even domicile the police only. He has other people he has told. And don't forget that some people may fall out with their friends. He may come out openly to threaten you, he was going to sell you out. And when anything like this happens, it's assumed it's from the police, which is not true.
Oh, I understand, I get it. Hello, good morning. We have another caller. Good morning. Hello, are you with us? I think we have network issues. Otherwise, call is reading, but we can't hear you. If you want to be part of the program, call us. We are running out of time so that you get to make your views so that the officer here will respond adequately. Okay, we were talking about confidentiality and how some of these informants have turned it into business, which is not really a welcomed development. Being a patriotic Nigerian comes with so many tasks, and this is one of it. Okay, before you respond to that, let's get this caller. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us. Can you please tell us your name and where you're calling from?
I just, I'm calling from local side. My complaint is about that road from Life Camp to Kubwa
Live to Kubwa. Okay.
to Galasma, that back road.
Yes, yes.
A lot of things they happen for that place in the evening.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I think police have to be there to watch that road to make
Okay.
sure all those bad boys that stay that place that they don't stay there again.
All right. Thank you so much. I didn't really get your name.
Imagine Jackson.
Jackson. Okay. Thank you, Jackson. He's talking about the back road. The
If I had him correctly, I think he's talking about the airport road from
Okay.
Life Camp towards the interchange by Lube Road.
Oh yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes,
which
yes.
most times men are there on patrol, and if only he can come up with a particular incident, because going by our records, crime on that axis has totally dropped.
Okay.
I can't just look out and say this is something that is worth mentioning that happened there recently. But I've taken his concern. We'll go back and redraft our operations there.
Okay, okay. So I was talking about being a patriotic Nigerian comes with so many responsibilities, and sharing information to the police, I think, is one of it. So what's your advice to Nigerians to be patriotic? Instead of, okay, I want to go share this information to police, what is in it for me? Or like you said, they share to so many people, at the end of it, turn out not to be effective as it's supposed to be.
Well, the police has created avenues through which you can pass information. If you move around, even in marketplaces, you see our suggestion boxes. Assuming you don't even want to be seen, you could just drop something in the box. We go through it and we act on it. If it is credible, yeah, kudos. If it is not, we can still replan. But the truth of the matter is that most information you boldly walk in and give to the police, we act on it. And we commend you when it is credible. We appreciate you when it is credible. That is, and we'll continue to do that.
Okay, now I won't let you go without giving us your security tips to FCT residents. As crime keeps evolving, so should our own strategies too, as residents of FCT. So, what do you have for us this morning?
Well, I can simply advise people to, most especially during the night, make sure your area is lit up so that you can be able to observe, even from the comfort of your home, what is happening outside. People are not actually complying with a couple of security tips. You see vehicles that are very expensive. If it is removed from well parked, on questioning, you realize that it has no tracker. How much is a tracker? These are things that can aid police in carrying out their duties. Observe your environment. If you see anything that's suspicious, you bring it to the knowledge of the police. We will act on it. You don't park vehicles, leaving things that will attract people, thief, to either break your glass to cut it away. You don't keep laptops on the chair. You have the trunk of the car where you can put your laptops. Anything that attracts the likely thief, you take it away from him. And possibly keep your car where eyes can be on it. You don't just put your car in an isolated place and expect maybe you will come and station a policeman to pay for your car. These are tips that when we do apply, I think to an extent, most of these things will come down.
Okay, thank you so much, ACP Harrison Aruo, for coming on the program this morning, and thank you for sharing your wealth of. I heard it from